Thank you for tuning in to Popcorn and Pork Rinds. This is your host, Sensei, and I'm here with a deck tech almost, kinda, on this Magic Monday. And basically, this is a Vecna deck. That's right, a deck that people kind of went into doing the thing to try to make it work when the set first came out, and it didn't last very long. Me, I stayed determined to make this deck work. I think I've gone through about 20 or 30 iterations to make it work. So basically what you're looking at right here, right now, is a deck that I built on Arena that worked maybe a little less than half of the time, but it worked more times than often versus the other decks that were built. So basically, you want to get Vecna out. But I have done some damage with the Raven, your Silver Raven, which is an artifact, and Hand of Vecna. Hand of Vecna is so good. And then, of course, you have your Poet's Quill to gain some life back. You have your Ingenious Smith to look for artifacts. And to cycle through your deck, you have your Slip Out the Backs, Obscure Charm, Make Disappear, March of the Swirling Mist to protect your stuff. You can turn all of these sideways to make this guy on anybody's turn at any time. If you have all three out, you can make this guy appear anytime. Right? So I don't know if people know that. Obviously, the mana base could be touched on, putting in some dual lands or some fetch lands or anything else. But remember, this is an old deck. It hasn't been touched. And I really want to revisit it just because of all the new sets that have came out since these cards, these guys right here, have came out, right? I had a lot of fun with this deck. If anybody wants to test this deck out, obviously I will leave you a deck list below. And you could build it yourself if you want to. Do whatever. But if you want to play me, I'll play this deck. It's very hard to play. This deck it was fun because when things work, they work. But it is definitely difficult. It's difficult because of the mana base. It's difficult because you're trying to get this guy out. It's just difficult across the board. But when it works, when you're using your brain, because it is a very thought-heavy deck. You have your Obscure Charms to do some stuff. You have your Mind Flayer to steal the opponent's big bads. And then, of course, you have a sideboard that you can search because of Poet's Quill. Poet's Quill will give you a +1/+1, I do believe. Yep, that's right. +1/+1. And lifelink. You cast that bad boy, you go get some stuff, right? You have your 5 cast mana where you're exiling something. You have your 7 cast where you're creating some creatures, which is the name. The name of that is Mascot Exhibition. And then you have environmental scientists to go find your land because you might be just stuck with plains or you might be stuck with swamps or islands or whatever, right? Then your pest summoning. Only one. But like I said, this deck needs to be reworked. It was very fun to play. You guys should go check it out. And I'll be doing more of these decks that I've built. And I will be talking about how they function, how they work. If you want to know more about it, let me know. If you want to challenge me in Arena, give me your Arena name. I'll add you. And whenever I'm free, I will play you. I'll play you this deck. And hopefully I beat the pants off of you. So you'll be like, oh, this deck does work. Anyways, guys, wanted to share that. Thank you for tuning in to Popcorn and Pork Rinds. Your host, Sensei, is out.